Well, good morning and welcome to Cityline. It is wonderful to be in your home on this sunny Thursday morning, May 11th. Boy, we're going to have a great weekend. So hopefully we have some great ideas of things you can do to be involved in our city. Later on in the hour, we'll be talking with Penny from Pierce Transit, and she is here to talk about all the comings and goings of Pierce Transit and also some questions that you might have for them. Tacoma Musical Playhouse is here. John Douglas Rake is here with Andrew Fry, and they're talking about cheeseburgers in paradise and Margaritaville this early in the morning. We're going to find out why. Foss Waterway Seaport is here. Brent is here along with Kayla, and they're here to talk about what's coming up at that wonderful museum and how can you get involved with. And now, with me in the house, as you have seen, we have a four-legged friend and a two-legged friend. Please join me in welcoming from the Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County, Leslie Dalzell. You are the brand new CEO for the Humane Society for Tacoma and Pierce County. Dun, dun, dun!
Here I am.
Welcome to Cityline, my dear.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the support that you provide to us over the years. And I am extremely excited to be here today.
It's great. And this little one,
yeah.
You know what?
Here, bud.
Lindsay, why don't you just come sit right here with us, because that seems to be, so, oh, good dog.
He loves to have two people on the couch with him. That's for sure.
So Lindsay, since you're not mic'd, we can't hear you. So I'm going to ask Leslie, tell us who this is.
So this is Rufus. Rufus is a 4-year-old boxer mix. And Rufus has been with us for 1.5 years.
Oh my.
So since October of 2021, we've had him living with us. And he is all full of wags and kisses and cuddles. He wants to be somebody's a loving friend and family member, and we are fortunate right now to have some events going on where Rufus's adoption fee is waived.
And how much is that adoption fee normally?
Adoption fees can range anywhere from $75 on up to $500, depending on the pet. Yeah. And so, fortunately, we received a grant from the Bissell Pet Foundation, and they are helping us through May 14th. So come now.
Come now, because today's May 11th.
Yep, come get Rufus, and his adoption fees will be waived.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So when we look at, before I get to know you, and we want to make sure that we know everything about Rufus, so we're setting him up for his forever home. Yeah. Would he do well with other pets, or does he need to be the only four-legged angel in the house?
Yeah, Rufus definitely would prefer to be the only four-legged angel in the house. He wants to be the apple of somebody's eye. And he definitely, as you can see, is kind of a couch potato, but he definitely has the energy to keep somebody going. So.
And how will he do with children, do you think?
We are unknown. We don't know how he is with children right now. So that would be a great question to ask to the adoption advisors.
He likes the lipstick.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I love this. And Rufus can feel free to just kind of walk the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, because, you know, it's your home too.
Correct.
Leslie, tell us about your appointment as CEO, because when we were in the green room, you looked familiar to me.
Yeah.
And then you let me know that you were previously the chief financial officer.
Yes.
When the previous executive director was there. So take us through your interim, and then how do you land here on the comfy couch with the full title?
Right. So I've spent most of my career as a CPA. So I'm a trained certified public accountant. And I've had the role as CFO at quite a few organizations, mostly for-profit. So this is my first not-for-profit, but it's a nice blend of experiences to help me maneuver in this world. And so back in October, our board of directors asked if I would be interested in taking an interim role. And so I was the interim CEO starting in October, and then made permanent in April.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been quite a whirlwind.
But
I have nothing but great things to say about our board of directors. They are an outstanding group of individuals.
And that outstanding board of directors is reflected in the team at the Humane Society. You have the most dedicated and the most well-fit individuals for their positions that I have ever seen. I mean, it's hard to tell what's a volunteer and what is a paid staff person because the energy and dedication is just the same across the board.
Yeah.
Oh, Rufus, what are you most proud of? And when you look at the shelter so far, because you obviously have spent time in the shelter in various different roles, what stands out to you?
Absolutely the team. So you touched on it. We have some of the most educated people in animal welfare that you could ever work with. And so the beginning of this year, we really made a concerted effort to look at best practices and introduce best practices, try and experiment, do some things that we had heard of at other shelters. And so through that, we've had quite a few successes. So in the 6 months since I've been on board, we increased our save rate from an 89% to a 94%. And
Wow.
the save rate is how many animals leave our shelter with a positive outcome.
Yes.
So a 94% is absolutely impressive goal.
It is.
And the increase is impressive. And so, it could only have been done with implementing these best practices. And so the team has studied on their own. They have done some research. They have been going to a lot of webinars and seminars and talking to other shelters, partnering with other shelters so that we can do better. One of the biggest changes we made was changing our system to an appointment-based system.
And tell me why you did that.
Yeah. So the main reason we did it is so that we can schedule and plan better for the animals that are coming in.
Okay.
And so when an owner needs to surrender their pet or you find a lost pet out in the community, what we're asking is that you, for the lost pet, spend a few minutes trying to find the owner in that area. Statistics show that most pets are within 1 mile of their home when they get lost.
Really?
Right. So if you just spend a few minutes looking around, see if there's anybody out and about, and ask them if they recognize the pet. Chances are you're going to find the owner. But if you can't, take it to a vet office, take it to our office, and we can scan it for a microchip and help reunite to an owner that way. And if you are willing to make an appointment and take the animal home and help us out to home that animal temporarily.
As in a foster kind of situation,
Yeah, it helps the shelter to keep from being overcrowded.
Right. And Leslie, you said something to me in the green room that I thought was such kitchen table wisdom, and yet I was taken back by it and thought, well, duh, Amanda, this makes sense. Let's talk about walking around the neighborhood as opposed to putting this precious animal in your car and driving it to the Tacoma Pierce County Humane Society. What are the pros and cons of that?
Right. So the pros is that you're likely to find the owner. The owners are probably standing next to you on the sidewalk looking for that pet. And so it really helps to not bog down the shelter system. The shelter then can be reserved for the animals that are truly in an emergency situation, like Rufus, who needed a place to land for a period of time. And of course, if you're unable to do that work, if you're unable to help talk to your neighbors and find the owner of that pet, of course, come bring it to us. And we just ask that you maybe jump online, make an appointment. You can give us a call. We're happy for you to walk in and we can make an appointment with you at that point. And if you're running and can't make that appointment and you really need to just let the animal be with us, we're happy to take it in at that point too.
Excellent. Well, hi, you came in just at the right time. Yes, you did.
did.
So before I go on and we want to talk about what we can expect from the shelter in the next few years here, tell me, as we want to give you a forever home, you mentioned that this was an emergency rescue. Is there a background that we need to be aware of so we get a really good fit for our buddy here?
Yeah, specific to Rufus. Rufus, we aren't sure what had happened to him prior to coming into the shelter. What I can tell you is Rufus had some kind of head trauma.
Okay.
So he did have some medical attention that was needed when he was brought in.
Okay.
And he may need some medical attention ongoing.
All right, that's good to know. So when in this last minute and a half, I told you it goes by so quickly. Tell us about what's coming up in the shelter that we cannot miss.
Yeah. So the adoption event, I had mentioned that, and so adoption fees are waived until May 15th. What we have completed recently is a 3-year strategic plan, and so we're looking out as to how we can continue to serve our community better and better. That plan will be released at the end of May, and so check our website and the emails. We will be sending out that strategic plan. In addition to that, the best practices we're implementing have made us really recognize that a new campus is needed. Yeah, so to continue our efforts in implementing the best service we can to the animals, we are going to be looking at a new shelter and a new campus in the future.
Which means we're going to need some fundraising activities.
We are going to need some help.
All right, so that will be our second segment on the Comfy Couch. When you come back, we're going to talk about fundraising.
Perfect.
I want to say congratulations to you. Well done, well won, and also to tell you how much we here at TV Tacoma love interacting with your staff and with these animals. Thank you for closing the loop after COVID and for bringing puppies and kitties and hamsters and rabbits back into our life.
Yeah.
And I'll see you back on the Comfy Couch real soon.
Would love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. After a little bit of tango, we'll have Foss Waterway here in the studio. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.